Happy lunch hour, guys. Okay, so obviously it's pouring rain. Well, it was pouring rain, so it's like walking through mud in the yard until some of this dries out. So it's a good day to do some stuff inside. So we will continue to do canning, and the other fun one today, brewing some beer. Yes. All right. So there you go. Hey, it's a prep. Got to have some of that on hand, if you will. But like everything else, it's what can you make on your own, because it ain't happening anywhere else. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Why do I say that? Well, we are looking at a situation of where's Ronald Reagan when you need him? Because Joe Biden is turning everything into the second coming of the Jimmy Carter economy. Okay? You think I'm kidding? Well, let's take a look at some of this stuff. This morning, new unemployment claims came out. Now, mind you, the Fed wants to have a soft landing. Okay, they're saying, "Oh, we're not going into a recession." They're going to be able to finagle, manipulate money out of a recession. Okay, the one thing that is key to them doing that is unemployment not going up. Yeah, oops. So here's the latest numbers here this morning. Last week, we had 240,000 people file for new unemployment benefits. Okay. Or I'm sorry, 244. The Department of Labor figured we'd come in at 240,000 this week. Yeah, nope. 251. 11,000 more people filed for unemployment this week than they expected, and 7,000 more new people than last week. Remember, 244 last week, 251 this week. There's 500,000 people right there, guys. Okay. Yeah, so this is now the highest rate since last November. I don't know. What was going on last November? I don't know. Was it, yeah, what was that thing? Okay. But then let's look at the next great thing. Manufacturing. You know, that wonderful thing that presidents from both parties for the last 30 years have been shipping off to China. And we've had one president who was elected in, what was it, 2016, I think it was, who was his magic wand of bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Okay, well, the guy with the toilet paper wand shipped it all back to China. So what's gone on with our manufacturing index? This was kind of interesting. Okay, now mind you this is an index of how much goods are produced in the United States for your consumption. All right. Last month, was the second month in a row that it was less. We were down 3.3. Okay. Economists, the people Biden appoints to figure this out, they figured we would come back and have a reading of 0 for June. The numbers came in. Federal Reserve of Philadelphia reported today, negative 12.3. We nearly quadrupled the drop that we had last month instead of reverting back to flat. What does this mean for preppers? Oh, I don't know. Exactly what all of us have been saying that the lying sacks of shit in government have been trying to avoid, that we're in a recession. Unemployment is going up and production is going down. Okay? Costs are going up. Why? Because supply and demand, production. Okay? Less supply, even, you start here, less supply, even if demand doesn't go up, that causes inflation. Okay? Problem is we're doing this. All right? More demand, less supply. It's going to get harder and harder to find the stuff you want. I'm brewing some beer today. Why? because it may be soon that I can't get some. And if I like a nice cold beverage in the evening when I'm sitting here talking to you guys, maybe it's time I make my own. Then you talk about other parts of it. This heat wave that everybody's going, I mean, you guys send me emails, make comments all the time about this 100 degrees, 115 degrees, whatever it would be, okay? Let's go back to the train strike that got postponed for 60 days. Anybody seen what's going on with the rail system in the United States? The rail system, the actual rails, the two steel bars that run on the ground, can't handle the heat. So what is happening as train cars go over? Metal gets soft in heat. Now you start running heavy train cars over the top of them, and they are bending and buckling. Now you're going to take these train workers, and in order to keep the trains running, they're going to have to go out and fix all these train lines. You ever seen what it takes? It's not like two guys go out there and in 15 minutes they fixed a train line. Go to Chicago and see how long it takes to fix the roads, okay? I mean, the highway system in Chicago has been under construction since the 60s, all right? There's 2 seasons in Chicago, winter and construction. The railways are no different. And so when you have DEF problems, diesel exhaust fluid problems, high diesel prices and the trucks can't go, then you have the train issues and the trains can't go. And then you have production issues and nothing's getting produced. Oh, we still don't need to talk about all the shipping backlog, which nobody's talked about in forever. But oh, by the way, guys, that's still going on. So none of the junk that comes over here from China is getting here. All right. Nothing's moving. Nothing's getting made. Nothing's getting delivered to the stores. Sure, you're still seeing stuff on the shelves. Maybe a little less, okay? I was talking to you about quart jars the other day, okay? Inventory doesn't miraculously replace itself. And then when you have unemployment go up, which means people have less money, yeah, guys, that's a recession. We won't know the official Q2 numbers for another month, all right, where the government's finally going to have to admit that GDP dropped between April and June, okay? They're going to transitory crap for the next month saying, oh, no, it's no big deal, it's no big deal, it's, we're fine, we're soft landing, all this crap, okay? No. Telling you right now, GDP went down in the second quarter. Pretty much guarantee that. I think the numbers, that's what, 2.5% or something like that, down 2.5%. We were down 1.2 in the first quarter. Yes, make it, buy it, build it, trade for it, acquire what you need as best you can. Somebody emailed me yesterday. It was a real good question. He says, I really have no debt. Younger guy. If I remember correctly, I think he said he was 27 or something like that. Congratulations being a younger guy and actually having the foresight to see what's going on. All right. Mind you, if he was 27 years old, it means he was born in 1995. He was 6 years old on 9/11. But he says, okay, I have very little debt. Would it make sense to go buy the last things I need? He was talking about his power and, okay, can I get himself, a small solar setup, a couple of the EcoFlow Deltas or something like that, and some solar panels and stuff. And I looked at this and said, okay, if you have no debt and you're talking about maybe putting $2,000 into something like that, can you pay it off quickly? Yes. Good. Then do it now. You know me, I am a firm believer in getting out of debt, but I am also a firm believer in getting what you need now. Now, that does not mean go out and buy $50,000, oh, gee, I need to get a new car because the cars aren't going, so I'm going to buy a brand new truck and I'm going to buy this and that and the other thing. And the next thing you know, you got a second mortgage on the house and you can't pay any of your bills. All right. But if he figures that he can pay off in a couple of months what it would take to get the stuff now, yeah, that makes absolute sense. You're going to need to get creative, guys, because every indicator is out there that we are in a recession, that we are going back to the Jimmy Carter years, okay? And for those of you that are old enough to remember them, you don't want to go back. For those of you that aren't old enough to remember them, ask somebody who's maybe in their 60s, okay? They'll remember them. Interest rates are going to continue to go up. We're already seeing that, right? Mortgage rates have doubled in the last 90 days. It's going to get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to acquire the things that you need, that you want, that you're going to have to make ends meet. People can't afford to live right now. What's going to happen when more people are on unemployment? That money comes from the states, okay? More people start collecting food stamps. More people start collecting welfare. That's more government money that's going to come out. One of two things happens. Either the government goes further in debt or taxes go up. Neither one of them are benefits. It's going to make your dollars worth less, your spending power of your dollars worth less and less and less and less. Guys, watch the economic numbers. They get glazed over or not even reported by the media, or they're like, oh, it's a soft landing. No, we are going to have a hard landing. We are in a full-blown recession. Nobody wants to admit it. We are on the way to much worse than we saw in 2008, 2009. You know, I can't say it's going to be 1929 yet. We'll see. But when you have stories today that come out that AT&T, we all know who they are, okay, says that their earnings are going to go down because people aren't paying their cell phone bills. Think about that, all right? Suddenly the cell phone's not as much of a priority. They've already cut out the TV. Now they're cutting out the cell phone. Why? Because housing, food, and electricity are all they can afford at this point. Get what you can. I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse saying this, but start getting creative, guys, because it ain't getting any easier going forward. Enjoy the rest of your day. I got beer to get off the stove. Pinball out.